Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Got a story here sent to me by a whole bunch of people, including Michael. Thank you very much. Stories widely reported over the weekend. Lamar Jackson challenges NASCAR legend Dale Earnhardt Jr. trademark claim for rights to the number 8. The number 8. Now, Jeff Kerr wrote this. And obviously, you can't just say, I trademark the number 3 or the number 8. Just the number. Trademarks are marks used in commerce to identify something, and they're usually referred to as being stylized. In other words, it's not just an 8. It would be an 8 that looks a particular way, that perhaps has certain outlines or shading or is in a particular color. And I know a lot of people are still going, but wait, just the number 8? Stylized in a recognizable way that would be tied to either Lamar Jackson or Dale Earnhardt. It might be that they can each have their own trademark as long as their versions of the stylized 8 are different from the other. Think about this, that somebody like, say, IBM can trademark an image that contains just 3 letters, I, B, and M. So the number 8 has been well known among many athletes in sports that wore the number. Baltimore Ravens star Lamar Jackson has taken his association with that number to another level. His attorneys filed a notice of opposition with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office this week against NASCAR Hall of Famer Dale Earnhardt Jr. for a pending trademark claim by JR Motorsports, which is the NASCAR team that Dale Jr. owns, over a style usage of the number 8. Earnhardt Jr.'s mark falsely suggests a connection with persons living or dead, namely Lamar Jackson, who is well known by the number 8. That's what his team said in the notice of opposition. So what happens is you file the application, the trademark office looks at it, and then it gets published, and people can object to it or file an opposition to it. And quite often, people who object to it or file the opposition are those who have a mark that is similar to it, or they've been using something that is so similar, they go, why did they get to do that? So, and I'm that's not legally, is there? Jackson's notice of opposition isn't challenging Jr. for the style of the number 8 he made famous in the early 2000s, but a different number style. It's in a different font. The reason the claim was made by Jackson's team is because it conflicts with the 2-time NFL MVP quarterback's Era 8 brand. Era 8. ERA space 8. If that number 8 is granted to Dale Jr., Jackson's team suggests it would create a false suggestion of a connection with Jackson. So you walk into a Walmart and you see a rack of T-shirts on display, and there's a number 8, just an 8 on a shirt. Would you recognize it as being Lamar Jackson? Would you go, oh, that's Dale Earnhardt Jr.? Or would you say, oh, that's the quarterback from the local high school team? I mean, and the question is how recognizable it is and how distinctive it is tied to the person who's claiming the trademark status. The stylized number 8 that Dale Jr. used on his NASCAR Xfinity Series car, driven by Sammy Smith, is the same style as the number 8 Jr. used when he drove for Dale Earnhardt Inc. from 99 to 07 in the NASCAR Cup Series. Dale's father, of course, Dale Earnhardt, owned the team until his death in 01, and his Junior's stepmother, Teresa, took over the team. Now, due to differences with his stepmother, Dale left that team to join Hendrick Motorsports after the 07 season, and Teresa held the trademark rights to the number 8, and they held that style use of the number even after the team shut down. Last year, she let the rights expire, which has allowed Dale Jr. to race the number 8 in that style. Dale Jr.'s also made a trademark claim for the style of number 8, which is where Jackson comes in. So Jackson has won 2 MVP awards wearing the number 8. Dale Jr. has been successful when he drove using the number. Jr. secured 16 of his 26 Cup victories in the number 8 from the 9 seasons he drove for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. He also is NASCAR's most popular driver for 15 consecutive seasons, ending in 2017. That's the year Jr. retired from driving. Dale Jr. is arguably the face of NASCAR these days because he's got a Dale Jr. Download podcast, one of the most popular forms of media in the sport. So there'll probably be some kind of wrangling over this, and they could try to settle it amongst themselves, or they could work it out, or they could wait and see what the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office does, the USPTO. And by the way, it's a fascinating website to visit. Look up USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office. And you can look up trademarks and patents and stuff based on who holds them. And I've done a lot of research there on various books I've written. So for instance, when I was writing about Preston Tucker, I looked up a lot of Tucker's patents. He had all kinds of patents on things that were going to go into his cars. So there's a lot of fascinating stuff there. I know a few years ago there was a fight in another community I'm familiar with involving the use of the term jetpack. Jetpack. The question was whether or not somebody could trademark jetpack because one person seemed to think that it was associated with them, and a lot of other people thought, what? No, that's not quite right. But another story altogether. Here, it's for a number 8, and the football player has already got the Era 8 brand, and the 8 looks a certain way. Earnhardt's saying, well, I've got an 8, but my 8 looks like this. And, you've seen the side of a stock car. It's not just a plain number on the side of the car. It's often slanted. It's often multicolored. It's often got outlines around it. It's in some particular font. It's readable, but they are different from one another. It's the kind of thing most people don't spend a lot of time thinking about it, right? So I'm going to hold up on camera right here. This is the case for these glasses. And obviously these glasses have never been in this case because look at it, right? But right here it says SAV with a trademark symbol. And there's a little thing over the top there. And the S and the V are white and the A is green. So if this company has trademarked this and registered it with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, they would have said, our trademark is the 3 capital letters, S, A, and V, and the A is another color, usually green, and we have this mark above it, which is not an actual like alphabet letter or number, but it is simply a bar or a line, and we place this in a square on our products to identify our products. And that would be a trademark, and it's probably registered. And so if somebody else came along and said, hey, I want to use SAV for my product, and they came up with something that looked a lot like this, they're going to lose that trademark claim if it becomes a fight. Now, the real question, though, is what if they were using letters that look completely different? And then the question then becomes how similar are they, and whether or not confusion would result by both people using this. And so, interestingly, I'm suspecting that both Lamar Jackson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. want to use this so they can market products, merchandise, T-shirts and hats and jackets and whatever else, and maybe into video games, because they have those now for both sports, right? And so the real question is, what if somebody came along and was using a thing with the same letters, but they look very, very different in a completely different field? And they go with never going to be any confusion. It depends. So I'm not an expert on that, and I'm not going to weigh in on that. But the point simply here is we're talking pretty much about a single digit, 8. And so the question is, if you put them side by side, how similar are they? But then, if you were to put these on products that are similar, i.e. T-shirts at Walmart, and you actually just had the 8s, would people actually go, hey, that's Lamar Jackson? Or they go, hey, that's Dale Earnhardt. Or they go, hey, it's just a number 8. They see the trademark, somebody, wait, somebody trademarked the number 8? Well, they trademarked the number 8 in that style and format and setting and so on. So we'll see what happens. Right now, the objection's been filed, or the notice of opposition. And like I said, they might be able to work something out, because they could say, hey, look, we will make sure that we always only use these colors and this shape, and you can use yours, and blah, blah, blah. But it might also come down to the patent office picking a winner. So there you go. Patent and Trademark Office. Lamar Jackson challenges NASCAR legend Dale Earnhardt Jr. trademark claim for rights to the stylized number 8. Jeff Kerr wrote that. Michael and everybody else sent it. Thanks a lot. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. If you could understand Morse code, a tap dancer would drive you crazy.